Straight ahead tonight.
Government has pumped more money into Bahamas Power and Light despite the power giant already owing them millions of dollars in loans. Stay tuned to Our News Tonight for more details.
Plus, stepping up enforcement and bringing operations under one system. Government signaling a more aggressive approach to tax collections. We'll tell you how. And
beat the back-to-school budget strain. We're here at Boss in Venetian Village, and they discuss how you can save major this back-to-school season.
And then in our news at 7:30, more from BPL as the overtime controversy is deepening. 2 employees now set to remain off the job after their suspensions were extended. We have the details for these stories and more as Our News Live at 7 starts now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. Bahamas Power and Light owes the government nearly $382 million, and more than $60 million was added to that debt in just 3 months. That's according to a recent report by the Ministry of Finance. The figure shed light on the government's financial support for the power company as BPL continues to deal with aging infrastructure, operational challenges, and frequent power outages. Our Joshua Williams breaks down the numbers.
Bahamas Power and Light under the microscope once again after a recent report revealed that government has pumped more money into the company that already owes it millions of dollars.
Take a look at the figures. Here in the highlighted line, you can see that in March of this year, BPL owed the government $220.7 million. By the end of June, that debt had climbed to $287.2 million. That's an increase of $66.5 million in just 3 months. But the figures over the past 4 years tell an even bigger story. The report shows that in June 2022, BPL's debt stood at $179 million, but at the end of the 2025-2026 fiscal year, that figure had more than doubled, rising to $301.9 million. So what's behind the borrowing? Government has not publicly provided a specific breakdown for the loans, but the Davis administration has previously pointed to BPL's significant financial and infrastructure challenges. Back in April, Prime Minister Philip Davis released this statement, saying when they came into office, BPL was saddled with more than $500 million in total debt and that they had to urgently loan the company $100 million just to keep it afloat. In fact, you may also recall back in 2024, then Energy and Transport Minister JoBeth Colby Davis made this statement in Parliament.
Over the next 5 years, BPL will need an investment of over $500 million to upgrade its infrastructure. That's $300 million in new generation in New Providence and in the Family Islands, $130 million in transmission and distribution in New Providence in the next 2 years alone, $35 million in advanced metering infrastructure, and $70 million in other costs.
That's more than $1 billion. But infrastructure isn't the company's only financial challenge. BPL has also struggled to fully recover its fuel costs, despite increased fuel charges under its glide path mechanism, prompting the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority in July to signal regulatory action aimed at overhauling how fuel costs are passed on to consumers. Now, all of this comes as BPL remains under intense public scrutiny, from claims of overtime abuse to the frequent power outages that continue to frustrate customers across the country. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Thanks, Josh. Well, it was an intense scene at Esso gas station on Blue Hill Road this morning when a 20-foot shipping container labeled a Greco and carrying a generator tipped over. Based on video footage, the driver made a sharp turn past the fuel pumps, and with the weight leaning to one side, the container toppled over. Video of the incident quickly circulated on social media, and Our News arrived shortly after. But the driver had already left the scene. Recovery crews from Four Seasons Crane were in sight, waiting for a lowboy trailer to safely lift and move the container. We attempted to get a statement from the recovery team and pump attendants, but neither were authorized to speak. That left one big question circulating. Was this Bahamas Power and Light generator? Well, in a release issued this afternoon, Director of Public Relations and Corporate Programs at BPL, Theodore Seeley, adding clarity to the matter, stating that the overturned trailer and generator were not owned or operated by BPL, and the company has no involvement or liability in the incident. Government is signaling a more aggressive approach to tax collections as the Department of Inland Revenue steps up enforcement and moves to bring more of its operations under one system. During a press conference at the Office of the Prime Minister, the department revealed that collections are up, but billions in revenue are still at stake. Our Chinasa Outen reports.
The Department of Inland Revenue is turning up the heat, using new technology and strong enforcement to close the gap on unpaid taxes and bring in more revenue.
In May 2022, the department broke its silence on what it called a massive $1 billion tax crisis. During a press briefing in May by the department, Controller Shunda Strawn warned then of what she called unacceptable non-compliance across the country. The message was clear. The department was moving beyond simply asking taxpayers to pay. And fast forward to today, Strawn says that push is producing results. During a press conference at the Office of the Prime Minister on Monday, she revealed that the Inland Revenue accounted for 46% of the government's revenue last year.
This year, we are expected to bring in over $2 billion, just over $2.3 billion, and we will be accounting for more than 52% of the government's overall revenue.
That is a significant jump from 2013, when the newly established department had a revenue budget of just $256 million, about 17% of total government revenue. So how did Inland Revenue climb out of the $1 billion hole it identified in 2022? One of the answers, enforcement. The department has been using its power of sale authority, which allows the government to seize and sell properties at public auction to recover unpaid taxes. And Strawn says taxpayers can expect to see more of it.
You will see us doing more in the area of, unfortunately, power of sale, because we think quite enough time has elapsed where we've been working with people, and we're not necessarily seeing the type of results we expected to see by now. So enforcement, unfortunately, will be increased.
Since the power of sale process was implemented, 15 properties have been sold. Inland Revenue is also turning to the technology, with the full One Tax Administration System, or OTAS, set to launch September 1st. The system will bring different tax and revenue functions under one umbrella, including business license fees, value-added tax, stamp tax, and real property tax. And the goal? A more integrated system that can make it easier to track what is owed.
So collections for us is we are actually doing well, but of course there's always room for improvement. So this year we really will be focusing on decreasing our arrears, which we still are quite concerned about.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Chinasa Outen.
All right, thanks so much, Shanasa. Well, in news from the court, a man is behind bars awaiting sentencing after a jury convicted him of fondling a 9-year-old girl as she slept. 31-year-old Arthur Nixon of Eleuthera was accused of touching the girl's breasts while visiting her home in New Providence on January 9th, 2026. Arthur Nixon, who was on bail pending his trial, has been remanded to prison to await sentencing for indecent assault. Justice Roberto Reckley will hear sentencing arguments on November 2026. As thousands of students prepare to head back to the classroom in a matter of days, police say they will be keeping a close eye on some of the problems that surfaced on school campuses during the last academic year. Assistant Commissioner of Police Chaz Wilhana, who has responsibility for school-based policing and training, says that includes parents coming onto school campuses and causing disruptions. Hannah says several parents were taken before the courts last school year, and police are warning that disruptive behavior will not be tolerated.
We want to let parents know right off the bat, we're not going to tolerate that. We placed a number of parents before the courts last academic year. We want our parents to know that campuses are safe and secure environments, and should you have a discrepancy with an administrator or teacher, do so in a respectful and peaceful manner. We're also going to be looking out for students who, for some reason, find themselves in barbershops during school hours. We want to let barber shop owners know and operators know that we are going to be looking for that. We want our students to go to school on time. So between hours of 9 and 3, they should not be in a barbershop.
Now, the School Resource Officer Program was reintroduced in 2022 as part of efforts to reduce violence on school campuses and help diffuse conflicts when they occur. Trained Royal Bahamas Police Force officers are assigned to public junior and senior high schools across New Providence and the Family Islands. And as police prepare for the new school year, Hannah says drug awareness will also be a major focus, particularly with marijuana edibles.
We're also going to be looking for ways to raise the awareness of all of the marijuana edibles that have been on the market as of recent. Drug Enforcement Unit has been seizing a number of those edibles as of late. So we want to raise the awareness. We're going to share a number of public service announcements that the Royal Bahamas Police Force has produced in conjunction with the Ministry of Education. We want students to be careful of the packaging. The packaging looks similar to popular brands that children would normally purchase. So we want to be aware of that.
And still along the lines of back-to-school preparation, back-to-school season can feel like a financial marathon for some, with parents racing to stretch every dollar while still checking off items from those supply lists. From notebooks to uniforms, the question is how families can make it all work without breaking the bank. Our Evelyn Ferguson tells us more.
One well-known company says they've found a way to ease the financial burden on parents during the back-to-school season. At their Venetian Village location off Windsorfield Road, Vice President of Bahamas Office and School Supplies, Audrey Turnquest, explains how their journey into school supplies turned into a mission of savings for the community.
I still remember our first major back-to-school season. We did not intend for it to be a back-to-school season. We happened to sell some of these things. We focused a lot more on the office supply side of things. And one summer, we got slammed. The store was full. Every school supply we had, I felt got bought out that one summer. And then we said, okay, hold on. Take a step back. Let's take a look at this. Apparently, we need to expand a bit more into this.
For years, Turnquest and her team have been rolling out back-to-school discount deals and a loyalty program that earns you cash back. For parents, teachers, and even teachers' aides, items range from classroom supplies to office essentials. And now, with printing services added at their new Venetian Village location, the savings stretch even further.
It has been an amazing response from the community in general, from the organizations that reach out that want to collab with us for giving back initiatives. We always embrace those opportunities as well.
Turnquest says they've also leaned on technology to make the process smoother. It's another way they're helping parents get what they need without the extra stress.
We can't forget our website. That has been a major player in the back-to-school season and allows us to work very efficiently with our Family Island customers. They go online, they place their order, we ship it to the mail boat.
Retailers like Boss have been leading the charge with back-to-school saving deals, from discounted prices to loyalty programs. And coming Sunday, they'll be open from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Mackey Street just to help you prepare for back-to-school. Reporting for Our News, I'm Evelyn Ferguson.
All right, thanks so much, Evelyn. Well, we've still got more to come, but for now, meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg, happy Tuesday.
Yeah, thanks, Megan, and happy Tuesday evening, everybody. Warm day around the islands. You've been hearing this for the last several days, weeks. We are still flirting with those upper 80s outside our studios. 87 right now on the partly cloudy skies. The winds out of the east at 10 miles per hour. But the feels like temperature, it feels like 97 degrees on the outside. Temperatures right now around the chain of islands. We are in the mid to upper 80s with 86s in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Great Harbor, Keithbury Islands. Pickup 85, Marsh Harbor, Abaco, Nicholstown, North Andros, and over in Governor's Harbour, Eleuthera. Alistown, Bimini, 87. Central Bahamas, 85s. Kemps Bay, that's South Andros, Black Point, Exuma Keys. 86s in Georgetown, Exuma, Great Exuma. Deadman's Key, Long Island, Port Nelson, Rum Key, and in Copen Townsend, Salvador. Over in Arthurstown, Cat Island, 88. And into Southeast Bahamas, 85. Duncantown, Ragged Island. Current Little Cricket Island, 86. 87 in Delectable Bay, Acklands. Also in Abraham's Bay, Maguana. 86 in Providenciales, Tricks and Caicos Islands. Matthewtown, Inagro, you are the warm spot right now at 89. Satellite radar composite, we are still quite across area, but we do have a batch of moisture just to the west of Andros. Some showers and thunderstorms popping up there. Those showers are weakening as we speak. We will continue with this moisture plume across the northern islands, keeping us with some showers and thunderstorm activity in the forecast. Central and southeast Bahamas still have some light Saharan dust there, but most of that is starting to wear off, and high pressure system continues to dominate that area. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. We'll take a second look at our weather later on in the newscast.
Coming up in sports, we're back to talking some player movement in the NCAA transfer portal, on the gridiron, and on the basketball court.
My lord, Rika done turned 23 on us.
Say less. She was just a brown girl in the ring, and now she's 23? I dreaming.
Hold on. I ain't supposed to go to Paradise Games. I gotta play this early California and Lake Miami.
Child, you know Rika born lucky. If anyone age could fall, it's her. I think I come in with you to Paradise Games.
Well, hurry up then. These numbers ain't gonna play themselves.
I come in. Any on Prince Charles now. You know we like new things.
Paradise Games. It pays to play in paradise. Paradise Games reminds you to please game responsibly.
You or a loved one currently under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Our compassionate team is committed to patients and their loved ones. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept all major insurance. With 2 locations to serve you, at Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street, we also ship to the Family Islands. Visit us on Facebook or call Ports at 377-1771.
Want real talk on real health issues? The Doctor's Hospital podcast brings you expert insights straight from our medical team, connecting public health issues to what we do here within the health system.
From chronic disease to mental wellness, we break it down so you understand how it affects you and what we're doing to help. Listen or watch the Doctor's Hospital podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Doctor's Hospital Podcast, where public health becomes personal.
Rubens has career wear from Casper and Klein and LeSuit that will take you from office perfection to after-hour elegance with professional tailored suiting and business casual pieces. We have your 9-to-5 fit, even in plus. At Rubens, we believe trailblazing women need clothing that will consistently deliver powerful looks that complement their style and confidence. Rubens has workwear for the guys too, with Dockers and Nautica pants, dress shirts, and more to enhance his professional wardrobe. Get dressed up with Rubens, Harbor Bay and Palmdale Plaza, with timeless suiting made to work.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. We needed to see what it looked like without the NBA guys, and against another round 2 team. Gotta say, looked pretty good. Also, it's insane that John pulled this whole thing off from where these conversations first started. Team Bahamas got the chilly test out of the way with a 94-87 win in Santiago, and there was plenty to like. Franco Miller Jr. was cooking, dropping 30 points and knocking down 5 threes. Dominic Bridgewater did a little of everything with a double-double, 19 points and 10 assists. Isaiah Mobley also scored 19, grabbed 8 boards, and went 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. Keno Burrows also got into double figures with 10 points. Okay, it was kind of weird that the Liberty kept silent for days on the JJ injury front. It was going to either be one of 2 extremes, catastrophic or nothing. Turned out to be the latter. The ankle was questionable, Jonquel Jones wasn't. Just 4 days after leaving the Liberty's loss to Chicago with a left ankle injury, JJ was back on the floor Saturday night, and she looked pretty comfortable. She dropped another double-double, 19 points and 10 boards in just 29 minutes, helping the Liberty to take down the Indiana Fever 109-102 at Barclays Center. Speaking of extremes, fans in New York, Yankee fans in New York specifically, I think everyone understands. The important thing is that they love Jazz right now. Until the next game. Jazz upped the production at the plate against another American League rival, and that's always good news for the Yankees. He went 2 for 4 with 2 runs and 2 RBI on Sunday, including his 18th home run of the season. That'll do it for sports. Don't trip. We got more. Stay locked in with us on our news at 7:30.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world, as Canada set to impose retaliatory tariffs on $20 billion in U.S. goods as their trade war escalates. Plus, more than 50 people kidnapped after armed men attacked a once peaceful community near Haiti's capital. And music star, actress, and beloved figure Dolly Parton dies at 80. We have the details when our news returns.
Chicken lovers, listen up. Popeyes is serving it up for you. Get 5 pieces of juicy, hand-battered, bone-in chicken for just $10. That's right, 5 pieces of Louisiana-style flavor, fried to golden, crispy perfection for only $10. But don't wait, this deal won't last forever. Head to your nearest Popeyes today and grab your 5-piece for just $10. Popeyes, where the chicken's always worth the hype. Available for a limited time only.
For 38 years, Struckham Commercial Pest Services has provided trained certified technicians while using environmentally safe, industry-standard products. Pests can devastate your business. Together, we will ensure adequate sanitation standards and safe pest exclusion methods. Uncontrolled pest problems lead to significant financial loss due to food contamination, business disruption, and stock waste. Struckham provides detailed solutions protecting your business and reputation. Struckham, #1 in pest control services.
Chicken lovers, listen up. Popeyes is serving it up for you. Get 5 pieces of juicy, hand-battered, bone-in chicken for just $10. That's right, 5 pieces of Louisiana-style flavor, fried to golden, crispy perfection for only $10. But don't wait, this deal won't last forever. Head to your nearest Popeyes today and grab your 5-piece for just $10. Popeyes, where the chicken's always worth the hype. Available for a limited time only.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Canada struck back at the United States on Tuesday with retaliatory tariffs on about $20 billion worth of American goods, including steel, dairy products, appliances, and farm equipment. A prolonged dispute could raise costs for American businesses and consumers. The new tariffs extended well beyond industrial goods, hitting everyday purchases such as seafood, cheese, clothing, cosmetics, and toilet paper, with some facing duties as high as 50%. Canada's retaliation came after the Trump administration imposed a 50% tariffs over the weekend on Canadian goods following the collapse of trade negotiations. The U.S. Treasury Secretary announced a new round of sanctions aimed at Iran and warned every country that does business with the Islamic Republic to sever those financial ties or face retaliation from the United States. The new warnings were issued after U.S. President Donald Trump pledged last week to unleash a, quote, economic D-Day against Iran as the administration struggles to find an off-ramp after nearly 6 months of war. The announcement provided little detail and did not name which countries could face secondary sanctions. China, Turkey, and the UAE are Iran's largest trade partners. Dolly Parton, the country music icon from Tennessee, died peacefully Tuesday in Nashville. She was among the most beloved personalities in music and beyond, as her appeal transcended generations, geography, and politics. She wrote hundreds of songs, including classics like Jolene, Coat of Many Colors, and I Will Always Love You, that told more than 100 million worldwide sales and more than 1 billion online streams. Parton was also a generous philanthropist and successful businesswoman whose projects included a theme park in the Smoky Mountain foothills near her birthplace. She also started her education nonprofit, Imagination Library, to send free books to children in Tennessee. She was 80 years old. And from the region, at least 47 people were killed and more than 50 others kidnapped after armed men attacked a once peaceful community near Haiti's capital earlier this week. It is believed to be one of the largest mass kidnappings in Haiti in recent years. And one gang leader is threatening to kill the hostages if authorities kill any gang members as they try to secure the community nestled in the hills above Port-au-Prince. Still to come in our news at 7:30, the former National Security Minister, now Attorney General, says he continues to have concerns about the level of violence within the country, especially the number of high-powered weapons being used. That's coming up when our news continues.
Bing bang ding. Bing bang ding. Ding ding bang. Bang bang bang. Bing bang ding. Bing bang ding, ding ding bang, bam bam bang, ding bang ding, bam bam, ding bang ding. Bing bang ding. Ding ding bang.
So you need a part for your car.
You need a water pump for 2014 Honda Accord. Don't worry, man. I can send you to my boy. You could be straight.
But his boy isn't WimAuto.com.
Hello? You say you're looking for a water pump, right?
They made you question if you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, man, that's cool.
It did not. Luckily, WimAuto.com lets you search for parts by year, make, and model.
Found it.
Plus, you can pay online for pickup or next weekday delivery.
I have a guide for that. Actually, a website.
Save time and shop with confidence on WimAuto.com.
Like, what you grabbing all these pizzas, boy?
Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all the large one-topping pizzas, wait.
Pineapple.
All.
Barbecue.
All. Hey, that included, but
I need the $10 special plate.
How many of them would you like?
20 in it. Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it. The Marcos got that deal, boy.
Making money is a lot like baking bread. This loaf, like Treasury bills, was made with a recipe designed to deliver great results and to do so in a relatively short period of time, just like Treasury bills. While this loaf here is more like Bahamas registered stock. It's a bit fuller, a bit crustier, and you may have to wait a little bit longer, but boy is it worth it. Treasury bills and Bahamas registered stock are both low risk, government backed, and feature maturity dates that you pick. Treasury bills and Bahamas registered stock, making money never tasted so good.
Alrighty, well, to watch any of today's top stories, be sure to visit ournews.bs or join the conversation at Our News Bahamas on your favorite social media platform. That's going to do it for our news at 7. I'm Megan Shepard, handing it over to our Talia Hall-Thomas for the latest headlines. Talia.
Thanks so much, Megan. Well, we have a lot of news to get to tonight. A newly launched AI sales and consulting firm stepping into the world of humanoid robotics. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on our News Live at 7:30, the controversy surrounding BPL's overtime spending is deepening, with 2 employees remaining off the job as their suspensions are extended. The union now pushing back. Also, residents of Grand Key are still waiting for reliable electricity, as the arrival of a rental generator has been delayed yet again. Plus, a Supreme Court judge has temporarily blocked the government from moving ahead with the retirement of a deputy financial secretary. We have courtroom details coming up. And later, as the search for missing a Lutheran woman, Katrina Kelly, continues, the Attorney General says prosecutors can secure a murder conviction even when a victim's body is never found. The story when our News Live at 7:30 returns.
It's a challenge that extends beyond just aging equipment. For years, rental generation has helped to keep electricity flowing. But those rentals come at a significant cost, with Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited spending millions of dollars each year to meet the country's generation needs.
Moving away from rental generation means having to invest in more permanent solutions. Here at the Blue Hills Power Station, new, more efficient generation units will be installed.
The new power plant that's up and coming to the Blue Hills Power Station, it's projected to be a proposed 133 megawatt combined cycle power plant, where you have gas turbines and you have steam turbines to provide a hybrid system.
These new generation units will run on liquefied natural gas and are projected to significantly increase generation capacity.
We're typically getting about 40 megawatts from our rented capacity because, you know, that's the need that we have. And we're going to a plant that's 133 megawatts. So it will absorb the need for our rental and then give us space for our future growth.
Renewable energy is also expected to help reduce the need for costly rental generation. Here in New Providence, we're already seeing that transition take place.
What we are building is really a drop in bucket, so to speak, right? But it will assist, obviously, in the long run.
Beyond the capital, Eleuthera and Abaco are also moving towards hybrid energy systems, combining solar, battery storage, and liquefied natural gas.
Well, because of the mix of power production entities that we have, it'll mean that we're not reliant upon one source. So because of that, we'll be more resilient in terms of being able to meet the demands that's on the grid.
Rental generation has played an important role in keeping the lights on. But the new energy era introduces permanent solutions that provide a more reliable, sustainable, and affordable energy future for the Bahamas.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall Thomas. First tonight, the overtime controversy at Bahamas Power and Light is deepening, with 2 employees now set to remain off the job after their suspensions were extended. And as the company's investigation continues, Union President Kyle Wilson is pushing back, questioning why workers are bearing the brunt of the scrutiny, while management's role in the controversy also comes under question. Our Delvardo Emmanuel gets us started tonight.
For residents of Grand Key, the wait continues. After more than 2 weeks without reliable power, Bahamas Power and Light says the rental generator meant to provide relief is now expected to reach the island sometime.
I never thought that this would happen to me and my wildest dream, but it happened.
Wellington Porter and Melvin Barb will remain off the job for at least another 20 days. As the investigation into overtime at Bahamas Power and Light continues. The 2 men were initially suspended for 5 days. Following a meeting with BPL CEO Tuesday, Bahamas Electrical Workers Union President Kyle Wilson says the union was informed that the suspension would be extended while the investigation continues. Wilson says the additional suspension is allowed under the union's industrial agreement. However, he is warning BPL not to abuse that provision.
So you're saying persons are abusing overtime, but then you're abusing the industrial agreement, and you're taking advantage of situations, just like I say, just to basically create a smokescreen against what the people are really frustrated about.
Wilson continues to question why workers are being placed at the center of the overtime controversy. He argues that employees do not authorize their own overtime, saying those hours must be approved and verified by management. Wilson says accountability should not therefore stop with the workers, but should also extend to those responsible for supervising and approving the work. Porter, who spoke following Tuesday's meeting, also maintains that he has no authority to approve his own overtime.
They're trying to attack innocent people who work hard and do their job the best of their ability. But like I said, I cannot put in for overtime. Overtime is approved by management and signed off by management.
Wilson was also asked why only Porter and Bob was suspended and not him.
There's an old saying that sometimes hogs know where to rub their skin.
Now, the union president says while investigations into alleged overtime abuse continue, he says he wants the matter to be resolved amicably so the union and the company can move forward.
I try not to hurt the Bahamian people, the mom and pops. They're suffering enough now. Persons are losing businesses, meat spoiling, ice cream melting, and so to inflict more punishment, God wouldn't be happy with that.
Reporting for our news, I'm Delvardo Emmanuel.
Thanks so much, Delvardo. And for residents of Grand Key, the wait for reliable power continues, with yet another delay in getting a rental generator to the island. Bahamas Power and Light had expected the unit to arrive earlier today, but due to several challenges, that timeline has been slightly pushed back. Our Chinasa Auden reports.
For residents of Grand Key, the wait continues. After more than 2 weeks without reliable power, Bahamas Power and Light says the rental generator meant to provide relief is now expected to reach the island sometime tonight. That's the latest timeline after a series of delays pushed back the generator's arrival. BPL announced last Wednesday that the unit was on its way, with the expectation that it would be installed and tested by Friday. But Friday came and went, and Grand Key remained without a reliable power supply. In a statement, BPL explained the shipping company was notified late Friday that it had been selected to transport the generator. There were also initial delays in getting the unit released from the rental company, with key personnel unavailable at the time. The generator was eventually released on Saturday after being serviced, and by Sunday the shipping company had taken possession. BPL then said the unit was expected to arrive today, but our news learned this afternoon that timeline had slipped again. This, as the power company revealed, getting it to the island proved to be another challenge. BPL Northern Regional Manager Marvin Green says the resort where the generator was supposed to be loaded did not provide access to the barge captain. An alternative had to be found.
The captain had made an attempt to start the journey. However, he could not because the tide was too low. And so right now they have to wait. We have to wait to work with the tides.
And Green says BPL is also being extra cautious after the last rental generator was sent to Grand Key.
There was a mishap in transit and that generator could not perform. We don't want to repeat that mistake. We want to cautiously, you want to do it expeditiously, but cautiously.
BPL says it's also working on a long-term solution, and the company adds it's developing a generation plan for the island that would add capacity, provide backup generation, and reduce the risk of a failed unit leaving the entire community without power. Meanwhile, the power giant says it will send a team to Grand Key to assess reports of losses or electrical damage caused by the outages. Residents are being asked to provide photographs, receipts, invoices, repair reports, and other supporting documentation to assist with the assessment and any potential reimbursement. Now, BPL says that generator is expected to reach Grand Key sometime tonight. Reporting for Our News, I'm Chanasa Outen.
Thanks, Janasa. Well, the country's power problem isn't just about keeping the lights on. It seems as if it's becoming an economic issue as well, with businesses, tourism, and consumers all feeling the impact of repeated power outages. And as the interruptions continue, another question is emerging. Are generators becoming the answer to a problem that the power grid has yet to solve? For many businesses, having a backup generator is no longer simply a convenience. It can mean the difference between staying open or losing a day of business. But generators come with their own costs, from the initial investment to fuel, maintenance, and the expense of keeping that backup power running. During our monthly sit-down interview with RF Bank and Trust Vice President and Group Head of Investments, David Slatter, he discusses the growing economic costs of power instability and whether relying on generators is really a solution.
I just happened to run into a friend of mine who's in the generator business, and he said he's recommending to his friends that you don't get a generator, you get solar panels and get the battery array. Down the road, it's just the economically prudent thing to do. If the BPL gets to the point where they can actually take back all of the excess power generated from solar arrays, and that would go a long way to reducing the need for imported fossil fuels. And sometimes it's just an economic argument to be made, right? So imagine if your vehicles are electric and you have your own power grid through your solar panels, you could be charging your cars using your own energy. So the ability to turn around and save money on your electricity bill and your fuel bill could be material. But I think for that to happen, it's out of the reach of many Bahamians. So maybe some incentives in place to make putting in place solar panels and the battery arrays more affordable for more property owners would be a great way to start to put a dent in this issue we have with insufficient power generation for ever-growing power needs, right? I mean, we see these new condominium developments, these new real estate developments, of course, expansion in the touristic sector. And, you know, I'm not sure that the BPL is necessarily getting accurate information on the power needs of some of these additions to the energy demand structure.
All right, switching gears now, a Supreme Court judge has granted an interim injunction preventing officials from continuing proceedings to retire Deputy Financial Secretary Athena Marsh. The injunction was granted in the public interest as Marsh challenges the decision to retire her from office. Marsh has filed an application for permission to judicially review the decision, which came after allegations of performance difficulties and insubordination. Justice Leif Ferguson is set to hear Marsh's application for leave next month. Well, as the country continues to follow the tragic case of 34-year-old Katrina Kelly, Attorney General Wayne Monroe says a murder conviction can be secured even when a victim's body has not been found. Kelly is believed to be dead after she was reported missing in North Eleuthera. Last week, 3 people, a 43-year-old woman and 2 men ages 31 and 34, were charged in connection with her death. The charges come despite police not having recovered Kelly's body. Police Commissioner Shanta Knowles has not disclosed what evidence investigators have uncovered, saying the matter is now before the courts. Speaking to reporters outside the office of the Prime Minister, Monroe says despite there not being a body, there's a precedent.
That happened as far back as the 1950s in the UK in a case called Honor Frack. And if you were to do a Google search on it, you would see any number of cases where there have been convictions without bodies in the UK and in the US. So it's not something that cannot happen. You can prove a death by circumstantial means, and I would expect that that is why the police would have levied the charge, because in their view, there are sufficient circumstances to warrant it.
The Attorney General Wayne Munro also is concerned about violent crime, particularly the use of high-powered weapons in recent shooting incidents. Munro's comments come as police investigate 3 separate killings over the weekend, while videos of police pursuits and shootings continue to circulate widely on social media. On Monday, Police Commissioner Shanton Knoll said there is no uptick in crime, but acknowledged that police remain concerned about the incidents. Speaking to reporters outside the office of the Prime Minister ahead of the cabinet briefing, Munro, who previously served as National Security Minister, said he continues to have concerns about the level of violence, especially the number of high-powered weapons being used.
We still have some citizens doing foolishness. We still have young men with guns, and I'm understanding that in one of the recent incidents, even a young woman was one of the persons arrested. Persons have to understand this is a society in which you live in. You need to stop it. You're running around here with high-powered weapons. Suppose you kill somebody who you know. Apart from saying,
when Munro served as National Security Minister, the Davis administration passed anti-gang legislation aimed at tackling and preventing violent crime like the incidents seen in recent days.
I know that towards the end of the last administration, I signed a regulation to add gang offenses to the witness anonymity provisions, and that was the final act from the police force, and now they will have all the tools to do what they need to do.
All right, well, nice weather conditions on this Tuesday in the capital. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and a happy Tuesday evening again, everybody. Warm conditions on the outside, 87 degrees is our current temperature, and the partly cloudy skies. The winds out of the east at 10 miles per hour, but your feels-like temperature is a very warm 97 degrees. Sideline radar composite, upper level disturbance to the north of us, keeping us with some isolated showers and thunderstorm activity. Batch of moisture to the west of Andros, generating some showers and some isolated thunderstorms there. Most of the activity is waning. Central and southeastern islands, ridge of high pressure continues to dominate. Slightly breezy conditions across the southeast Bahamas, but those winds will continue to be moving across the central Bahamas, so we're looking at some choppy seas if you plan on doing any boating for the next day or so. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. We'll take a look at the tropics and your extended forecast when we come back.
Still to come in our news, a new Bahamian technology company is bringing humanoid robotics and artificial intelligence solutions to the local market. Plus, a familiar name is back on the island of Grand Bahama. Popeyes officially returned to Freeport today, drawing a crowd and plenty of excitement for its soft opening. That's all coming up when our news returns.
Welcome to Paradise Games, where exceptional service meets the ultimate gaming experience. Our dedicated team is here to make every visit a win.
Now this is paradise.
This is more than just a place to play.
Now this is paradise.
It's where excitement meets world-class service.
Now this is paradise. Now this is paradise.
Come experience it for yourself. Now this is paradise.
Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
celebrates the Bahamian spirit, from culture and craft to our reefs and jungle, preserving what's ours, shaping what's next. Like, it's in our hands.
Picture this, robots greeting you at the door, answering questions rather, and even helping with everyday tasks. It may sound like something out of a movie, but that technology is now making its way into the Bahamas. This as Simplified Tech, part of the Simplified group of companies, a newly launched AI sales and consulting firm, is stepping into the world of humanoid robotics. The company unveiling its new technology at the Margaritaville Beach Resort this week, but robotics is only part of the company's technology portfolio. Simplified Tech also offers AI assistance, printing services, and digital solutions designed to help businesses work more efficiently. And as artificial intelligence and robotics continue to develop, Simplified group of companies founder and CEO Robert Pantry says this latest move represents a step toward what he believes is the future of technology.
Artificial intelligence is already changing the way the world works. Increasingly, AI is moving beyond the computer screen and into the physical world through humanoid robots, robotic assistants, and other forms of physical AI. At Simplified Tech, we believe this represents a major evolution of technology. Our philosophy is simple. The robot is the body, the AI is the brain. Today, we are taking another major step with the launch.
And their lineup now includes kid-friendly robots designed to make robotics approachable for families and schools. Business lead at Simplified Tech, Kanara Lloyd, shares more about these exciting new additions.
And first, I would like to begin here with just a kid-friendly quadruped. As have been mentioned, we have the robot dogs, and there's a variety of them. And with this, we anticipate that our children who may be interested in robotics, or if you want to get them interested, they can begin with a version such as this. Or even for those who are just wanting to whet their appetite and be able to get started at a low cost point. And so this is our kid-friendly robot here, or quadruped.
Coming up in sports, high expectations for Prince Strong this season at West Virginia. Same kind of expectations for Brent Moss at Tulsa after last year's seamless transition to D1. And a pair of Bahamian sailors are taking on the best in the world again.
Sun, sea, good friends.
And bold new flavor has arrived in the Bahamas. Introducing the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger. Spicy jalapenos, cool ranch, fresh Wendy's beef, one perfect balance. This isn't a heat you run from, you enjoy it. Bring the heat. Keep the cool with Wendy's new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger.
First heartbeat.
Thank you, and the little guy's all set.
We've been here for you, by your side.
She's good.
Through every challenge, every milestone.
6 miles, hold it.
The house will be yours someday.
Every triumph. Will be hers. Covering, protecting, securing.
The insurance covered everything?
Here since 1899. Always here. Kalina. Caring for you.
Hurricane season is here, and staying informed is crucial. Stay with our news and the RTV network for reliable coverage and insights you need. Our experienced meteorologists and reporters are dedicated to bringing you timely, relevant updates to help keep you and your loved ones safe. Stay with the team you already trust this hurricane season. Tune in and stay informed. Your safety depends on it.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record, we challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8 p.m. The conversations that shape the Bahamas start here, on the Record.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. We should all be excited to see what Prince Strachan is going to do in this Rich Rodriguez offense at West Virginia. The West Coast wasn't a great experience. Seems like Middle America always works best for him. The 6'5 receiver is getting ready for his debut in West Virginia, and September 5th is the date to circle. That's when the Mountaineers open their 2026 season against Coastal Carolina in Morgantown. Prince had some slight injury concerns during spring ball, sidelined for a bit, but Rodriguez recently confirmed that Strachan has been cleared and is back to practicing at full go. And West Virginia is expecting a lot. He comes in with 37 career catches for 578 yards and 3 touchdowns at Boise State, but his lone season at USC was limited to 1 game with a 25-yard catch due to injury. Strachan has some catching up to do. He's been reportedly putting in extra work with the receivers coaches, including film sessions outside of the regular team activities. Now it's all about turning that size, experience, and potential into production. After a season of relative inactivity, Strachan is ready to get back to work. Another player on the move with high expectations, but this time in college hoops, Brent Moss makes transitions look easy. The JUCO natty is a freshman, thrived in his move to D1, and now another stop on the basketball journey. Moss is one of the key transfers for the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes this fall. Last year, he made the move to D1 with the UTSA Roadrunners, where he averaged 9.6 points and 4.7 boards in 29 games, including 3 double-doubles. Against South Florida, he dropped a career-high 32 points and shot 7 of 9 from 3. He also had a 16-point, 10-rebound double-double against Rice to end the year. Now he gets a fresh start at Tulsa and the opportunity to go from just a D1 rookie contributor to a much bigger piece of the puzzle. Moss is also the second Bahamian transfer for the Golden Hurricanes program in as many years, following Romad Dean. Paul D'Souza and Joshua Higgins are about to take their shot against the best sailors on the planet, but of course this isn't some happy to be there stuff. They're thinking big picture. The duo will be in Ireland this week competing in the ILCA 7 Men's World Championship, where there'll be 2 of 141 sailors from 45 countries competing in the Olympic class dinghy. That field includes several Olympic medalists and former world champions. D'Souza has been on the international scene for years, transitioning from a junior to a senior, and is now a multi-time Bahamas ILCA national champion. At the 2025 ILCA Bahamas Open Senior Nationals, he finished 2nd overall, and Higgins finished 3rd. Meanwhile, Higgins became the first Bahamian to qualify for the ILCA 7 at the Pan Am Games, and was also the first Bahamian to compete at the ISAF World Championships. D'Souza and Higgins aren't just racing for a world championship result in Ireland, but using the event as part of a longer Olympic campaign, aiming at a spot in LA 28. That'll do it for Our Sports. This is 10YS. Erling Haaland got the new haircut, which is what you gotta do after a major loss. Gotta rebrand. So let's look at some other hair rebrands for this season to see if it'll work for them. You got CJ Stroud and Trevor Lawrence in the NFL, SGA and LaMelo Ball in the NBA, possibly me and John if we ever do a bad newscast. But that'll never happen. We're amazing.
Still ahead on Our News tonight, a familiar name is back on the island of Grand Bahama. Popeyes officially returned to Freeport. Plenty of excitement for residents for its soft opening. We have the full story coming up, and Greg is back with the extended weather when Our News returns. Stay with us.
Bing bang bing. Bing bang bing. Ding ding bang. Bang bang bang. Bing bang bing. Bing bang bing. Ding ding bang. Bang bang bang. Bing bang bing. Bang bang. Bing bang bing. Bing bang bing. Ding ding bang.
The Paint Place Independence. It's that time again. Yeah, sun's over. We got the colors for you to paint it right. We got the things that you need, you know, to paint the work of your dreams. Let's go on the God one. People, yeah, we are equal. 24 senses, so high without faith.
celebrates the Bahamian spirit, from culture and craft to our reefs and jungle, preserving what's ours, shaping what's next. Like, it's in our hands.
This is our news. Welcome back. Still tracking 2 areas in the tropics. We do have that system up near Bermuda. Very narrow chance for this system to actually get to a tropical depression, but disorganized showers and thunderstorms still associated with that system, and it will continue to pull towards the north and east into some cooler waters. So that narrow window, we're probably not going to see anything after tomorrow. So we'll continue to watch this one move away from our area. Then we have that system off of Africa, just a couple of 100 miles to the southeast of the Cape Verde Islands. Still showing some disorganized showers and thunderstorm activity with it, but it will continue to move towards the west-northwest over the course of the next couple of days. This one is going to be moving into an area that's favorable for some further development. We could see a next tropical depression or a tropical storm, and if we do, it will have the name of Dolly and will continue to track towards the west. Down the road, though, we expect the system to, as it moves closer to the Lesser Antilles, it's actually going to be moving into an area that's not going to be conducive for any development, but we will continue to watch the system as it tracks towards the west. Closer to home, we do have an upper level disturbance well to the north of us, but that's triggering some showers and some thunderstorms across the northwest part of Bahamas, with some isolated thunderstorm activity waning across Andros, some of that drifting across New Providence right now in the form of some high clouds. Saharan dust and high pressure dominating the remainder of the islands. Quiet conditions down there, likely to continue through the next day or two. Taking a look at the future forecast, moisture across the northwest Bahamas, that patch of moisture just to the west of Andros waning, some more moisture dropping in from the north across our area by tomorrow, so we could see some isolated showers as well, and that will continue through Thursday. Boating forecast, northwest and central Bahamas tonight to tomorrow. Your winds will be out of the east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, falling light and variable across the northwest Bahamas. Seas 2 to 4 feet. High tide was at 7:04 this evening. Your low tide will be at 1:26 in the morning. Southeast Bahamas, we expect a caution flight to continue down there, and those winds are slightly weaker easterly winds, 15 knots, but the seas will be running 3 to 6 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, off and on showers throughout the remainder of the week, with that upper level disturbance staying just to the north of us. So if you have plans for the outdoors, you may want to keep the rain gear handy. That will take us into the weekend. Temperatures will remain in the 90s, heat indices in the triple digits, so we still have that heat advisory continuing for the entire chain of islands. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much for that, Greg. Well, some exciting activity in my hometown, Grand Bahama. This as a big name is back on the island. Popeyes Chicken held its soft opening today in Freeport, marking the return of the popular restaurant brand to the island after nearly 25 years. The restaurant is located off the Mall Drive at the former Wendy's location next to Kentucky Fried Chicken. A line stretched from inside the restaurant to outside, with customers turning out to get their first taste of Popeye's famous Louisiana-inspired chicken. The opening also featured a Junkanoo Rush Out, adding a Bahamian touch to the celebration. Atos Holdings CEO Chris Savusis was on hand to welcome customers. He says the return of Popeyes represents the company's belief in Grand Bahama, as well as its vision for investment opportunity and the island's future.
Over the past 9 months, we have invested approximately $3.5 million into this project, transforming this historic site into a beautiful new restaurant. This location, once home of the old Wendy's, now begins an exciting new chapter. And perhaps the most meaningful part of this project is what it means for the people of Grand Bahama. This opening has created more than 75 new jobs, and with those jobs, new opportunities for Grand Bahamians to grow, develop their skills, and build their futures.
All right, positive news for the island of Grand Bahama. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall-Thomas. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.